Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Sofia Hernandez. I'm the Global Head of Business Marketing and Commercial Partnerships at TikTok. I'm also incredibly jet-lagged visiting you from New York City. Really happy to be here, my first time in Sydney. So I'm running on adrenaline. I hope you enjoy this. We are here to talk about the evolution of culture and the role that brands play in this today and can play in this today. So let me kick off by establishing two key points. Entertainment has fundamentally shifted the way that we engage with the world. And let me take it a level deeper. Short form entertainment influences culture, the way it's shaped and the way it's shared at an accelerated pace. And TikTok, which by the way is an entertainment platform, not a social media platform. You don't come to TikTok to check what your friends are doing. You come to TikTok to watch things. You come to TikTok to be entertained. We have been at the core of this transformation. And let me break it down for you. This is a place where people come to create. Back in 2019, we created a tool that democratized creativity as we know it. Anyone could create and share content. Anyone could showcase their talents, their interests. Anyone could be a storyteller. And that content could be shared with people all over the world. You don't have to have millions of followers for your content to be noticed. Anyone's content can be noticed and seen across the globe. Our algorithm basically gives everyone a chance. So you make a TikTok, your content gets shared. The more people watch it, the more people engage with it, the more it's seen. And there's content for everyone. Everything you could possibly imagine. What are you into? Dogs? There's dog talk. Are you into golf? There's golf talk. Are you into potatoes? There's potato talk. Are you into witchcraft? There's witch talk. There is TikTok content for almost anything you could possibly imagine. And that has opened up a really exciting and special opportunity for brands. And I'll reiterate, this content is really shaping the world. Your audience is not just your local friends and family. If you're sitting in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois, you can see content from Sydney. You can see content from India. We are now experiencing culture at a global level every day on our devices. Creative storytelling transcends language and geography, which leads to my second point. If entertainment has fundamentally changed the way we engage with the world, creators and consumers, aka people, the people that all your brands are trying to reach, are at the core of this. They are leading the way. Today, you all know creators are their own brands. And people, your audiences, are demanding that brands behave differently. They want you to behave more like creators. I always say we need to think like marketers, but act like creators. And it's really opened up this opportunity for brands to connect with their audiences in a really unique way. The one ask they have of you, the one thing they really want from you, is to keep it real. I read this stat the other day that blew my mind. And by the way, I've been in marketing my entire career, but I didn't know that on average, we're exposed to anywhere between 4,000 and 10,000 ads on a daily basis. Blows my mind. And in a world where we're constantly trying to figure out how to dodge these ads and shut them off, we are hearing people on TikTok tell us that they want brands on the platform. 71% of TikTok users said that they want brands on the platform if you can keep it real and if you can show up like one of them. They want you to be part of the fabric of culture. Easier said than done, so I'm gonna show you some inspiration. We're gonna watch a lot of TikToks today. Who knows? I don't even have to ask the question. Who knows Jules LeBron, this creator? Okay, so you're already proving my point that creativity and storytelling transcends geography. This creator named Jules LeBron is from the US, and she started a trend just by posting how she gets ready for work every day. And as she talks about how she gets ready and talks about her core best practices, it's rooted in being very mindful about what she wears, very cutesy, and very demure. So let me show you how two brands leaned into this cultural moment. First brand is Verizon, which is an American telco company. Verizon partnered with Jules in the way a brand would traditionally partner with a creator.
Ladies, let's be mindful when we use our phones. You know, me, I keep it very cutesy, very demure. I reply to my text, I get to my emails, I do a few, picky, flicky, flickies, and that's why I'm at Verizon. Verizon lets me trade in a musty diva for a demure diva. Verizon lets anyone trade in a crusty phone for a new one. We don't have a crunchy phone. We don't do a cracked screen. I'm not typing on my phone and getting cuts on my fingers. I'm not charging my phone and it's weedy wada woo going crazy on me. Thank you. You said we get the bag? I take my bag. I'm very cute. I'm very respectful to the staff. I don't do crazy. I walk out with my nice new phone. And that's why I partner with Verizon. She keeps it elegant. She keeps it cutesy. She keeps it classy. She does red. She doesn't do hot pink. She's not crazy. She's very demure.
What a very natural, real, and authentic way for Verizon to partner with Jules. By the way, if anyone can see my phone, it is very janky, very cracked, not very demure. And I walk by the Verizon store on the way to the TikTok office in New York City regularly, and they're advertising in the window that you can return, exchange any phone no matter what condition it's in. And it's not until I saw this that I really felt like, yeah, I shouldn't be carrying this phone and cutting my fingers every time I try to use it. This is the power that exists for brands when they engage with creators, when they're a part of culture. Let me give you a more local example. BetterHelp, which is an Australian online mental health platform, interpreted it in their own way. So they did not partner with the creator, but they leaned into the cultural moment.
Notice how I'm journaling outside, very demure, very cutesy. You see how I'm in nature, very demure, very mindful.
Very different than what Verizon did. But the key takeaway is that the community, the TikTok community, people that you're trying to reach to connect with to your brands, wants you to be a part of culture. They want you to participate. And what it requires is something that, if I'm being honest, marketers and brands and CEOs are very uncomfortable with. It requires creative bravery. And this is something that we're talking about a lot lately. I work with CMOs all over the globe and really help them understand what TikTok's about, how they can really lean into the platform to make their business and their brands successful. We are all very comfortable as marketers playing in our very safe brand guidelines box. We spent a lot of money and a lot of time building those brand guidelines. It makes our CEO comfortable, our head of corporate comms comfortable, our legal counsel comfortable. But today, consumers and people expect more from you. They want you to experiment. They want you to be more personal. And I'm going to break creative bravery down into 3 core pillars. Unhinged storytelling, piquing curiosity, by the way, the spelling is intentional, play on words, and bridging the trust gap. So let's dive into unhinged storytelling. Does anyone know the brand Alexis Bitar? Okay, Alexis Bitar is a fashion accessory brand. And what they did was create a storyline of these two key characters named Margot and Jules. Margot is an Upper East Side socialite of the worst kind. And her assistant is a very reluctant assistant named Jules. And they created these vignettes, and the community went crazy for them. And I'm going to show you, and you're going to see why.
Get Bernice on the phone. Get Bernice on the phone.
Told them that you didn't want Stephanie.
I never want to work with Stephanie. She looks at me like I'm nothing. She doesn't get what I'm asking for.
We could go back in right now.
No, I don't want to go back in right now.
You don't. We're hoping to get a little bit of Christmas shopping
I'm only going to work with Bernice.
She only wants to work with Bernice.
And tell them they need to do something about that Stephanie. She's not very nice, and it's Christmas time. Where's the ho-ho-ho? I want a little ho-ho-ho when I go shopping.
She wants a little ho-ho-ho when she's shopping.
So you got your list?
Yes, I have the list.
We have to get for Pierre.
Pierre, we have Pierre's
gotta
mother,
get John.
Johnny and Jonathan.
John and... Oh, right.
The gay couple down the
gay
street.
couple
Yes,
down the
yes,
street.
yes.
Oh, yeah. We always got to have a gay couple at the table.
Oh, Michael.
Michael?
The doorman.
Well, then we're going to give him an envelope. We're not getting him anything from that store.
Your sister?
No, we're not getting anything from my sister.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm very sure.
She is coming over.
So?
Great. Perfect. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Where's
wonderful.
my juice?
I'll trade you.
Yeah, trade. I just want to get into the Christmas spirit. A little more. Be generous.
Perfect.
Immediately, you are in love with these characters, and you want more. And Alexis Bitar started with just a few vignettes, and now they have a whole set of content. Here's why this works. Not once did they talk about the product. Very scary for lots of marketers. It features multi-generational talent, not the latest, hottest TikTok creator. Lo-fi production, was all shot on a smartphone. Kicks off in the middle of a story arc, right? You don't know the beginning, you don't know the end, you just meet these characters where they are. And as marketers, we've been taught that you need a beginning, a middle, and an end. That you need to share the reason to believe. You need to have a call to action. You need to feature the product prominently. You need to talk about the product benefits. That's not happening here. And this brand has built such brand advocacy, such brand love for a fashion accessory brand. They're wearing the earrings, they're wearing the bracelets, the necklaces, they're holding the clutch. And then there are other ways that they talk about products. But this is creative bravery. By the way, my husband is in advertising. He's a creative director. And when we talk, so we're like that ad family, right? That watches commercials and critiques them. And we talk a lot about the evolution of marketing and creativity. And he says to me, you know, it's like I have to completely relearn everything I've been taught about advertising and marketing, because consumers want something different. And I say consumers, but what I mean is people. People want brands to be more personal. They want brands to connect more. It's really the antithesis of everything we've been taught. All right, let's talk about curiosity, piqued or piquing curiosity. The TikTok experience is rooted in discovery. You open up the platform and you're fed content. And it's content that the algorithm knows or thinks you're gonna like. So any brand and any person can be discovered, especially when you can pique curiosity. So let's see an example of a brand who has done that. Who knows the Nutter Butter brand? I actually don't expect anyone to know this. Oh, a few people who are really tuned into culture. So Nutter Butter is maybe like a Tim Tam. It is a peanut butter cookie. It's a Mondelez product. It's 55 years old. Let me show you what they're doing on TikTok. Nutter Butter, oh, yeah. I know what every single person in this room is thinking. They're thinking, what the did I just see? And that's exactly what the world felt. That's what their community felt. So this, So this almost 60-year-old peanut butter cookie brand, this isn't like Skittles or a Haribo product, this is a peanut butter cookie, really started to create content that piqued people's interests. And so people started responding and asking if Nutter Butter was okay.
Nutter Butter, are you guys okay?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
They're really going for it. This is just a quote because I know everyone's thinking like, what does the marketing team have to say about it? And I just want to highlight, like, they are experimenting. They're leaning into extreme absurdity. I love that they use that language. They're pushing boundaries of creativity. They're being brave. And here's just like a quick snapshot of people, their community, their consumers, and how they responded. And if you look at some of these, I don't even like Nutter Butter, but now I'm gonna buy some. I suddenly have the urge to go purchase Nutter Butters from the nearest grocery store. This makes me wanna eat Nutter Butter. Marketing genius over there, or what is going on? But this is what happens when you lean into creative bravery, when you start to experiment, when you start to challenge yourself as a marketer to be a part of culture and really connect with your audiences. Let's talk about bridging the trust gap. What this is about is people like to engage with brands that are regularly participating in culture, regularly having a conversation with them, not just having one campaign a year, not just posting a few kind of programmatic, performance-based ads. The expectation is greater and greater on us as marketers and brands. The more engagement, the more trust is built. I love stats, so I'm gonna share a few. 76% of TikTok users say the best brands are always active. 76% of people are saying the best brands are always active. 72% of TikTok users appreciate when brands respond to comments with a video response. So that's what you saw with Nutter Butter. When someone said, "Are you okay?" they took that person's question, comment, responded with a video. 60% of TikTok users say a positive experience with a brand in the comment section would drive them to choose one brand over another. That is how powerful it is when your community, your audience, feels like you want to be a part of culture, like you're there regularly. You're not just popping in with a brand message and popping out. I want to acknowledge that we're all under pressure to deliver results, to make sure that we're impacting the bottom line. We're all fighting for budgets. We're all trying to tell an ROI story, myself included. But showing up more often, immediately in our minds, means, more money, more time spent, more resources needed. And in a world where we're still, let's be honest, focusing on big, expensive TV shoots or less creative performance-based assets, I get it, because we're not used to behaving this way. And what I'm here to tell you is that the opportunity for brands to really immerse themselves in culture has arrived, and it's different than what we've done in the past. It means we have to change the way we operate internally. It means it has to change the way we partner with our media partners. We have to have different expectations of our creative agencies. And as marketers, we have to not just be students of culture, which we're all very good at. We read a lot, we have a lot of data, we know a lot about our customers, but we have to be participants in culture. So we have to shift from students of culture to participants in culture. And as I mentioned earlier, TikTok, democratized creativity. We put out a tool and the community took it and they created what we all experience as TikTok today. So there's no excuse for brands not to participate. If the everyday person can create content, there's no excuse for brands not to behave the same way. And I'm going to talk about some of these tools quickly. So we have solutions that really help brands lean into creativity at scale, help you have these ongoing conversations. We have a suite called TikTok One, which is essentially 3 things. 1, a creator marketplace, which is what I like to say, matchmaking between brands and creators. 2, a creative exchange, which is matchmaking between brands and creative agencies. And 3, an insights tool. Every single marketer asks me how they can be on the pulse of what's trending, how they can learn more about why things trend or why other brands' TikToks have been successful. That is all on this insights tool, and it's free. So if you want insight to things that are happening in real time on the platform, that's why we've provided this insights tool. The second thing, and we just launched this summer, is our Gen AI Symphony suite. And what this is essentially a creative studio at your fingertips. Whether you need help script writing, which we have an AI generator to do, you just put in a few key things you want to communicate and it will generate a script that you can tweak to your liking. Or fine-tuning, versioning of creatives can give you any language you want. You can partner with creators to build avatars that can work for you across the globe. These tools have been created to really make the process of always-on engagement a lot easier for you without sacrificing authenticity and realness. And last is TikTok Pulse, which allows you to put your content in a brand-safe environment next to the hottest trending vertical content that's relevant to you. Let's go back to what I said earlier. We're all being held to how we're impacting the bottom line, right? Is my CEO going to be happy? Great. You talked to me about how I need to participate in culture. You've talked to me about some tools that you offer for me to do this. But does it work? Is it really impacting the bottom line? Is my CFO going to be happy? Participation on TikTok leads to action. 58% of TikTok users say they've discovered new brands on this platform. More than half of TikTok users are discovering brands on this platform. 44% of users reported that discovering and immediately purchasing something. So almost half of people are discovering and then taking action and purchasing based on something they found on TikTok. 78% of businesses report that TikTok expanded their reach. And I have 2 more local stats that I want to share that come from our economic impact report with Oxford Economics here in Australia. 3.2 million Aussies made a purchase from recommendations on this platform. 3.5 million people visited a restaurant and a shop that they discovered on TikTok within a month of discovering it. So if we want to talk about impact and purchase intent, TikTok is delivering that. But again, if you show up the right way. So going back to our friend, Nutter Butter. And I shared some of the comments earlier, but I haven't seen a Nutter Butter box in stores, much less look for one or think of them, for 15 years, but suddenly I bought a box because memes. And by the way, this is the latest on units sold. So you can see the increase. And while there was a spike, it's sustained. So whether you are ready to be subtle with your approach or dive into it like Alexis Bitar and create a whole content series, or whether you're going to get really crazy and experimental and take a few drugs before you create this content. The reality is, and what I leave you with, is that creative bravery is a spectrum. And I've shown you many examples of how you as a brand can bring your brand to life and participate in culture. It looks different for every brand. And my ask is that as marketers, again, you really lean into participating in culture versus just being an observer or a student of culture. Thank you so much, everyone. You have been a very mindful, very attentive, very amazing audience. Thank you.